my girl. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, hon. Get over there. Go on. The road to nowhere. Here's another one. That's my good Daisy. Oh yeah, hon. Oh yeah, hon. You're gonna go running, honey. You're gonna get your exercise, hon. Daisy's gonna get her exercise. You're gonna ride like the wind, hon. Christopher Cross. Hey, baby cakes, how you doing today? You tripping? Hey, David, how you doing? Daisy and I are out here partying. It's a lot nicer, cooler day today. Yesterday was a bitch. It seemed like it was gonna be nice, and it was super humid, got hot. But I can tell today it's just very nice, cool. Take my Daisy out here to party. I think it's just, I don't want to get up in the morning and take off and be gone for 6 or 8 hours and then take her out for the first time. I mean, I do take her out in the morning. It's just too long for my Daisy to be inside. Oh, it's cross-country runners out here. So I said, Daisy, you come with me, hon. We're gonna party. She said, okay. Oh yeah, Daisy's gonna party with Dad. I gotta clean my windshield too. Love these beautiful trees. Oh yeah, the tail's going. Daisy's tail is going already. Wow, hon. Is the tail going, honey? Okay, honey. Oh yeah, we're gonna let you out. You can ride like the wind, hon. Christopher Cross. That a girl. Wipe this lens on. Daisy's gonna ride like the wind. Oh, thank you, Creeping. Yeah, Daisy's a really exceptional dog. I know everybody says that about their dog, but I've had a lot of dogs, and I feel a little bit guilty saying that, but there's no amount of money could buy Daisy. No way. It's a great dog. It's unbelievable all the shit that I do that I wouldn't do for myself that I'll do for Daisy. I've never been motivated like that. She's just such a good dog. Oh yeah. Yeah. And she only likes certain places. Like yesterday, I didn't take her to the park because it was super hot, and so I took her to a football field right now where I'm staying, and it's just not the same. So she likes dinking around here. She can go down, fool around the river, and bite a groundhog in the butt. Hey Jane. Hey Duquette. Is it Duquet or Duquette? I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, but it should be French, right? Probably Duquet. Oh, my morning's going pretty good today. I think I might start staying in another hotel, though. I'm thinking about that. Morning, homebrew. Georgia, I mean, it all, I'll tell you, be honest with you. Georgia's always like a gonna happen, never seems to work out. Let me give you a perfect example. So I got a buddy down there, and that's where that new van I have is down there. And he's busy as hell. He owns a paper company. Well, he's been wanting to fly me down for a long time to go to the Varsity Hamburgers down there downtown Atlanta, and mess around, visit with him and that kind of stuff. And then this COVID stuff came out, and the Varsity had to do all the protocol of what everybody else does. And I just got a text from him last night that Frank retired. There was after 63 years, there's a article in the Atlanta Constitution or Journal, whatever that main paper is. Not a big deal, but to be honest with you, I thought I would get down there quicker, more likely to interview Frank before something happened to him than to pick up the van, but I guess that's not happened now. So for some reason, it just never seems to happen. I don't really need the van. I hate hot weather, so I don't want to bullshit you. I lived there for a while up in Woodstock, and I don't know when I'll be down there again. I mean, I am going to hit the road quite a bit this winter with my Daisy, and this fall. And I just don't want to say, yeah, I'll be down there in a month when I know there's a 99% chance that I won't. But when I do come down there, I'll definitely hook up with you. We'll party all night. Yeah, I agree with you. But you know how those areas are. You get into these kind of there's Scotty's Fish and Chips on Finkel in Detroit. They almost get this cult-like following. I'm not saying the food's bad. It's not the best. And before you know it, when you're down there, it's kind of exciting, and then you're getting a decent chili dog, and that's kind of Atlanta's version of Scotty's Fish and Chips in Detroit. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're right. A lot of these places are. Yeah, your comments are showing up. Yeah, I just looked up that house. I bought a house there, I think, 86, 87. Lived in it for a few months. It was part of the deal in getting married because I had to try Georgia. And I rented that house for a couple years, and I think I paid 80 grand for it, something like that. I looked it up the other day. It's like $375,000. But it's just not Georgia. It's other places. I mean, I kind of got lucky on Florida property where my place is. I bought 20 acres down there in 92 and paid 200 grand for it. And they acted like I was nuts. And it was all dirt roads. It was kind of the Wild West. Well, now it's all big bucks. So I don't even want to say I guessed right. It's just shit luck. I mean, I could have easily bought a place and found out later that it was an atomic nuclear waste dump and nobody knew about it, so I got lucky. Oh, thank you, God's child. Yeah, honestly, Sarah, you know, I think about this all the time. I'm really not doing much. Another busy day, huh? Atta girl. Where'd you start out? How far? Oh, did you? Oh, you'll paddle the other way. All right. So how far are you going down? Atta girl. All right. I'm jealous. Oh yeah, Daisy. Oh yeah, Daisy. Feeling good, huh? You feeling good, hon? You know, I cut Daisy's hair every week, and we're going on the third week. Just I've been gone, and her hair has really grown out a lot. Feeling good, hon, huh? Atta girl. Wow. Oh, this lady's got her dog with her. What is that, Chihuahua? Yeah. Cute. Yeah, it's cooler today, yep. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not a guy. I mean, I say it like it is. I know I can be like kind of crass and crude, but you know, I'm just not a bullshitter. And I think people don't like me sometimes because of it. But my point here is, I don't really think I'm doing much. Yeah, I hand out a few gifts and a little cash and say how you doing, but that really, in the whole scheme of things, you know, there's nothing worse than somebody running around always bragging about what they're doing for people. I mean, I know the difference between really having an impact and really helping and getting someone on track and just out there dinking around doing minor bullshit like I'm doing now. I mean, I don't think I'm doing anything bad, and I enjoy it and I like to get their stories, but man, I don't really do too much. You know, it's just, I do what every other person that had my time would do if they had an opportunity. That's why I feel so lucky to be doing it. I could be stuck in some bullshit job with a bunch of good-for-nothing kids and a wife that sleeps on a couch in the living room, and I'm not. I'm lucky. So I'm lucky to take my free time and do this. And if anything, I feel a little guilty that I'm lucky to cross paths with these people. But that's different than, you know, thinking that I'm doing something great, because I don't. I really don't think that. I think I'm nice, but nothing I'm doing is unique. You know, people, I say this all the time, people get kind of a faux impression of somebody that has a YouTube channel. You start getting views. You know, I'm as basic and bare bones and grassroots as you can get. I mean, people they see your photography and stuff. Let me tell you, good cameras take good photos. I just don't want to bullshit people. I swear to God, I don't know what 99% of the buttons and features on my camera do. Every single shot is automatic. And the video's a no-brainer too. So, you know, just like any hobbies, I mean, you're not being self-critical of what you like to do in your off time. But I don't think this is any thing that's going to get me a direct route to heaven, if there is such a thing. It's just interesting. I share it with people, and that's it. I still can't come up with a good answer on why I do this. I'm not really sure. I think the main thing is that it's interesting to me. Yeah, gonzo photography, that's no shit. I mean, my photography sucks in a lot of ways. I mean, you get the picture, right? There's two sides of this coin. I'm just not that kind of guy that's the lighting's got to be perfect, and the color saturation and the hue and the contrast. Now, that sucks in a way. Let me give you an example. I got a buddy of mine that's a filmmaker, and he buys the newest everything, and he's a fanatic about everything. I mean, if there's a leaf laying on one of these tables, he's going to want to edit it out. And this is just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. He never gets anything done. And the reason that he never gets anything done is because nothing ever meets his standard of what he thinks it's supposed to be like in a finished product. I'm the exact opposite. Hell, a third of my photographs, I'm not even looking through the camera when I'm driving down the road in some of those shots. You know, overexposed, underexposed, out of frame, but that's the way I like it. Real life isn't a photography studio. Now, if I got time and I'm sitting here and I'm dicking around, I may spend some time to like get a good shot of Daisy. But normally, I mean, to me, it's good enough. You know, I joked yesterday about if I start a company, I'm going to name it Half-Assed Incorporated. But half-assed allows me to get a lot of stuff in a lot of places because I'm never looking for the perfect scenario. I'm hoping it's good enough. You know, as I look through my photos when I'm putting them together to upload, people say, well, why don't you go join a contest? First of all, I don't really care about how anybody views my photography. I would never join a contest. To me, if you gave me first place or last place, it wouldn't mean a difference. So with that in mind, why? And besides, it's subjective. You know, just because somebody thinks my photography sucks doesn't mean it does. And if somebody thinks it's the best shots they've seen all year, that isn't necessarily true either. So I'm just not into, like, you know, giving a shit about stuff like that. And one of my many faults is I don't like to take criticism too hot. So it's not that I would expect that I should win the contest, but somebody starts raking me over the coals about I should have done this and I should have done that, I'm probably going to go gonzo. You know, now I'll tell you, I'm not a pictured rock guy, to be honest with you. It just doesn't interest me that much. It really isn't. I like going up to the UP in the winter, and I like those crazy storms from the north in the fall and early winter on Lake Superior. But pictured rocks, seen it once, seen it 1,000 times. And even though Tequamatum Falls is cool, same with that. It's kind of like Niagara Falls, just doesn't excite me that much. But take a look at it, see if you like it. You know, it's slim pickings up there as far as staying in a hotel or motel. And this COVID stuff has really put a monkey wrench. So if you go up there, or you're thinking of it, I would definitely make sure that places are open. It's hard to get something to eat up there. I've been to Munising before, but, I don't know if it is or not, to tell you the truth. I was just up in Tequamatum Falls in the early spring when the water was just crazy. And that was because there was nothing to do and gas was cheap. I was getting gas for 90 cents a gallon in Gaylord. And I checked it out, but normally I wouldn't have went through all that bullshit just to see some waterfalls. It's not that exciting to me. You will knock out some big miles driving in the UP and it all kind of looks the same, I think. Yep. This lady's kind of cute. Going down the thing with her little chihuahua. Yeah, painted rocks, pictured rocks, whatever it is. I'm not really sure. I forget the biggest town up there, near there. Surprised this lady can actually go this good against the current. Look at her little chihuahua sitting on her legs. Good job. That's a faster current than it's been the last week. Yeah, it had big time. Yeah, I haven't seen it going that fast in a week. Hey, Brian. You're pretty much right, baby cakes. I mean, there are things that I like about it. There's things Daisy likes about it. Daisy can go, hey, hon. You feeling good? See, now I'll take her out here and run her around for a while. It's a nicer day, but for a dog, it's still hot. You good girl? So I'll mess around with her and then drop her off at the hotel and then hit the road. You good girl, honey? Ah. Yeah, that's true, Barry. I mean, there's a lot of truth to it. I think about that where I live because, You know, West Branch really isn't a destination. It's kind of a stopover on the way someplace else. Now, there are lots of cabins and that kind of thing, but not like there is further north. And when you look at the baby boomers like me, there isn't anybody, you know, people are trying to figure out how to keep their house where they live, one house, and raise a family. Things are tough. Layoffs, bullshit, this COVID. But even before COVID, you know, it's not the crazy money it was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. This second home up north and this boat and all this kind of stuff is kind of dropping off. It's survival mode now. So I think once these people my age drop off, places like West Branch, nobody's replacing you. You know, there's no jobs up there to speak of that pay anything. And when guys of the baby boomer era are done, I just think it's going to kind of go back to the days it did when logging was prevalent. Now, there's going to be exceptions, like Petoskey and Traverse City and that kind of thing. But, I mean, I think northern Michigan, you get north of Bay City, it's already pretty dead most places. If you go on the east side of the state, you go to Bay City, you go all the way up against the east coast, along Lake Huron, all the way up to Mackinac City. It is absolutely dead. Now, the west side's different. Oh, did you, Robert? Oh, okay. Did you talk to him? Yeah, I think so, Barium. I think when it really gets down to it, though, what's really changed is this standard of living. You know, we expect that we're going to have what our parents did, and that you bought the little bungalow for 19 grand, and 30 years later, or 40 years later, when you retired, it was worth 320 grand. That whole thing's done. This owning a couple new motorcycles and a boat and an up north place and going to whatever college you want and owning new vehicles, the standard of living's changed. The middle class is just disappearing left and right. I'll tell you, I was out in Ann Arbor yesterday. Even Ann Arbor's starting to look dumpy. At Briarwood Mall, I mean, we all know that malls are on the downslide anyway, but Briarwood Mall was a creme de la creme mall, and even up to like 5 years ago, it was a very nice mall. But you go there now, dead trees, shit laying all over. Sears out of business. Looks just like every other mall in every other middle class area, although I wouldn't consider Ann Arbor in general middle class. Just looks like a dump. Dirty, shit laying all over. Yeah, everybody, yeah, in Barium, you know yourself, go down to the Detroit River on a nice day and look, see how many pleasure boats you see out there. Hardly any. In those old days of those big, you know, 40-foot Chris Craft and the family and everybody going up and down, sailing around Windsor, and it's not happening. It's over. General aviation is dead. Totally dead. I was out in Ann Arbor yesterday and went over to where, man, I was there in the good days for aviation. There'd be eight planes in the pattern, people taking flying lessons. I saw one plane in the air while I was there. So sometimes I like get depressed about it, but then when I really think about it, all it is really is everybody's going to have a lot less stuff. And is that bad? You know, it's when you can't put food on the table that starts to really worry me. Yeah, you're right, baby cake. Yep. Yeah, I think it's going to be only online. You know, here's the irony. I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, and now I guess Amazon is thinking about taking over these shopping malls. And isn't that funny? Because they're one of the big cog in the wheels that help put them out of business. Is Amazon. I mean, you can't bitch about Amazon. This is what capitalism is about. But the days of a freestanding store as a retailer, even the Magnificent Mile down in Chicago has gone to hell. I mean, I can remember Borders in their heydays. That Borders they used to have in Ann Arbor was just fantastic. I spent literally thousands of hours at the Borders on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. When I first went to Chicago and was thinking I was going to move there, I went down to that Borders. It was like 5 floors, including the basement. I'd go up there when we get those blizzards and drink coffee and look at books. It was just so damn fun. You're looking down at the old water tower and people having fun. It was like the old days. When I first moved there in '98, there would be a line a half mile out the door, people trying to buy books around the holidays. And here it's a big junk shop now out of business. Yeah, yep. Yeah, it's just, I mean, things have changed, you know. I got the tail end of the good days, the very end of the good days where, people paid for your tuition if you went to college. And look what they get for, that's another thing too. You're burning the candle at all ends now. I wouldn't spend $2,500 for a bullshit degree like I've got in criminal justice. Actually, when I graduated with my degree, which was 80, it was a big deal. They thought a 4-year degree in criminal justice was like a big deal. And now it's like you'd have to be out of your damn mind to get student loans for some Mickey Mouse degree like that. And it didn't really cost that much. I had a new car when I went to college. I worked full time. I never got any student loans. It didn't seem like any big deal. It wasn't like, oh my God, how am I going to pay this tuition? It was like, yeah, I wish I didn't have to pay it, but it's not really that big of a deal. I wasn't taking loans or borrowing money or anything. But now, since these federal subsidies have quit, these colleges are trying to stay afloat and getting the money through tuition. That's why you're coming up with all these crazy student loans. I mean, if you've got to go to college to get something that requires licensure, like a nurse or a lawyer, now we're talking. There's no way around it. But just to get some shit degree like I have, not worth it at all. Yeah, this COVID stuff sucks, man. I think this, in my opinion, which of course isn't worth anything, I think COVID is done way more than 9/11's done. I was talking to that guy I was telling you that's writing a book, and he said, well, of course it's done more than 9/11. Well, he's looking at 9/11 when it happened and, the consequences in New York City. But that thing still, 9/11 is still causing problems. It basically ruined the airline industry. It killed our economy. So I'm not saying that COVID has outrun it yet, but COVID's right up there with a national disaster for sure. I mean, you guys know I'm on the road all the time. And, man, it's bad out there. Just places closed and everything. Nobody can afford to maintain anything. Even Ann Arbor's looking shitty. Weeds growing up, dead trees all over, potholes. And now if you look at inflation, you can see the American dollar is just turning into basically pretty much worthless on a global scale. I mean, it's still desirable, but nothing like it used to be. No, I think you're right, baby cakes. Yep, I think you're right. I can remember when I was younger, you talked to a lot of people that led a good life, and for a variety of reasons. They could have been in a school district where they worked 40 years. You could have been on the line at Ford Motor Company. My dad worked as a laborer at Rouge for 36 years. Crazy benefits, no deductibles, all the money you want, double time, triple time, overtime. Shit, they even gave them like $7,500 when they left on top of their retirement for things that deteriorated over the normal course of getting older. The union sent you to some place, and it's like, you know what, Howard? You don't hear like you did when you hired in here 36 years ago, and therefore it must have been from this industrial setting. Yeah, everybody got like $7,500 when they got an exit physical, and the union negotiated a deal. I mean, these are the reasons why factories and commerce and companies fled, for guys like my dad that belonged to strong unions, that after getting 36 years being uneducated, making crazy money with full benefits and a retirement, it wasn't enough. They wanted $7,500 on top of it because they didn't have the same hearing they had when they hired in. It's just, this is why the economy started to head south with American labor. Yeah, pensions are over. No, yeah. In the old days, you really in your heart of hearts, you'd support a candidate, and in your mind, you really thought this is going to be it. This guy is going to turn things around. But you're right. It's like from one clown show to another. It's so embarrassing to like listen to any of the candidates. I mean, some are better than others. It's subjective. Depends who you are, what you're listening to Biden and Trump debate. It would be just, I'd rather listen to two cartoons argue. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Marley, you're right. Yeah, thanks, sir. I mean, it's other people that really send the things to them. This is a much nicer day today. Here's some more cross-country runners. Oh, here's somebody with a baby. I see this lady out here all the time with the baby. I don't know whether she's the coach or what. Come here, Dazer. Getting a little warmer now. Yeah, I vote too, but you know what I mean? Yeah, I bet she's the coach. Yeah, she's got a whistle. That makes sense then. Yeah, send me, you can send it at Tom Reed, REED, 1956 at gmail.com. No, Barry, not only they say that, I started going up to Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor in 69. My sister was going to school there. She was older at the time, went back to college later. I was just a kid. And I can remember listening to people talk as a kid. This was back in the 60s about how Ypsilanti was going to be just like Ann Arbor. And that never happened. What Ypsilanti is, though, is it's affordable, which is not like Ann Arbor. Even the doctors can't afford to live within the city limits of Ann Arbor anymore. I like Ann Arbor, but I think it's overpriced. For all that traffic, their taxes are absolutely insane. Now, if you had 5 kids and they were in the public school system, probably worth it. But as a single person living there paying those taxes, no way in hell. My taxes, I think, are $1,680 in West Branch, and that's about reasonable to me. We call a cop, they show up. City services are great. No, it's true, Lenny, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Terry. Yeah. So, I mean, I try to catch myself thinking about this, and I'm just driving around thinking, God, this sucks, that sucks, this place is out of business. I mean, that's why I've been giving extra tips to waitresses. I mean, it really doesn't really do anything, but I think it acknowledges that, hey, I know what you're going through. Here's a little extra tip. Hope you have a good day. Just like 1 minute of maybe feeling like someone gives a shit. It's not the dollar amount that's going to change your life. Like I go into California Pizza Kitchen yesterday. I got that Kung Pao shrimp, and it's good. And that place used to be busy as hell. If you went there around dinner time, like on a Saturday or something, you could expect to wait. Now there's like 5 people in there. All this bullshit. Every other table, it's got a damn piece of plywood over the top of it, so nobody sits there accidentally. And the employees are all brainwashed into lying to the public and telling them a happy story when it's not really happy. I said to the girl at the desk, hi, honey. I'll call her back. Hi. You want to go bye-bye? All right, we go bye-bye. She said to me that things weren't bad. Well, that's not true. Ready to go bye-byes? No, it wasn't. Actually, it was Mimi. I'll call her back, though. Oh, I know. See, he thinks it's too hot already. Ready to go bye-bye? This is the most verbal dog I've ever had in my life. She will let you know when she wants to get the hell out of town. Whatever it is, we're gone somewhere. But she's already thought it's getting too hot. Yeah, we go bye-bye. So, you know, I'm kind of a glass half full, half empty guy, and I've really tried to catch myself and just talking about how shitty things are. And negative, you know. Hang on one second. I'm gonna come back on. I'm gonna call her back because I took her video down the other day, and I'm not sure what she wants. And it's just the timer thing's gonna spin. So I'll be right back on. I'll come right back.